At the conclusion of the ceremony, you will all be leaving here as citizens of this one great nation, the United States of America. This is your day. Honor and treasure it.
To any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty of whom, or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen, that I will support and defend the Constitution and the laws, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God. Congratulations. Welcome to all of our new U.S. citizens.
Mark next to Nick. Mark on the other side of the firecracker there. Rescue squad. And look at the yellow and white one. Yellow one. Don't mess with the dog, Keisha. That's right. Go.
At one point originally, this should be over there. At one point originally, they weren't even allowed.
Really hard to find.
Yeah, in that shape anyway.
Yeah.
Well, have you got out of your
Look at that Motorola box. Property of City of Los Angeles, LAPD. This car is perfect. Like an area.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Nick?
Yeah.
Lucky calls me and walks away.
Which we're lucky it's not hot.
Yeah.
Compressor fell off. I'm like, I don't do this shit without
AC. Now I got 3 or 4 cars without AC. And the car I sold that it fell off.
And then you're going to get.
Back and wound up using it for a parts car.
Is this sound or this is just?
He got everything.
The one thing I was looking for is
I remember some of those.
It turns out this actually oh, it's a Dodge. Let's go down like the fire truck. That's back to me right there. What's that?
Do you actually use this as a lift?
No.
Do you touch it?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be really fast service. Or do you use it as
We also have a broadcast tape recording.
Hopefully the original.
Yeah, from the same West Valley Police Department. You can hear it outside too. We have it.
Yeah.
There you Sure. I know. Take it back over What do you think it is? Oh, it's okay. We know a place. Oh, okay. Well, tell them not to read about it. It's no problem. It happens all the time. I said, all right. Or call Dad. Well, thanks for calling me. He says, what did they say about it? Oh, they said it's no big deal. They said they had to do all that. I'll just leave it at that then.
Have you got one of them up there so far?
Yeah, and it's being waxed and cleaned right now for $300. So I got 300
How do you spell your first
there
name?
alone.
You are. Who the hell are you, and why are we here?
Okay, my name is Lou Farah, and I'm the president of Professional Cars International. And today you were at the American Heroes Air Show PCI Fall Classic. So we have a big, huge car show, as well as a bunch of helicopters and fire apparatus and police cars and all sorts of agencies like fire departments, police departments, all four divisions of the military. Everybody's here, kind of a show and tell day where the citizens are.
Get our for information. Come on down.
Okay, because I got Barnett who wants to give me not use the running.
I think it's called the transformation.
Okay, I don't
And you are a legendary paramedic. And before, I think I once called you something wrong. What's the difference? There's a...
You called me an EMT, which is an emergency medical technician.
Okay.
Emergency medical technicians do not have cell phones in their pockets.
All right, let's go. What's the difference?
An emergency medical technician does a lot of emergencies, things like CPR, splinting, bandaging, but they don't do the advanced care, like starting IVs, defibrillating, doing advanced airway procedures, giving drugs and narcotics. So paramedic is an advanced EMT, so to speak. And primarily, we're the ones that respond to 911 calls, the paramedics.
All right, tell us, starting with your vehicle, some of the vintage vehicles that we have here today. What are you driving today?
I am driving our 1957 GMC Suburban ambulance. This was one of the first 4 ambulances put in service in the San Fernando Valley by the Los Angeles City Fire Department. We have vehicles going back to 1940, including an ambulance from Moran, a 40 Buick, and they go all the way from 1940 to 1977. So this is kind of before paramedics really took hold and this whole advanced medical care thing hit the streets. This represents the days of you call, we haul, and that's all. And that's what you're looking at.
Now, you had a car that didn't start. Tell us about your other ambulance that croaked in the parking lot.
Well, that's the newest one out of all of them. It's a 77 Cadillac that was operated by Professional Ambulance Service in Glendale. When it came out of service in the 80s, I bought it. Usually it's one of my most dependable cars, but today went to turn the key and all I heard was clicking. And we had to get the parade going by 9:15, so really couldn't spend any time trying to fix it. Just hopped in the rest of the cars and off we went.
If money was no object, what would be the vintage vehicle that you would have to have? You could, no price, you can buy anything you want. What would you want?
I think the holy grail has got to be anything involving a 1959 Cadillac. That's the most desirable chassis. We have a member of the club that has a beautiful Miller Meteor 59 Cadillac hearse.
Are you just saying that because I'm standing here, or do you really believe that?
Well, no, that out of all the collectors nationwide, anybody in the hobby, all of them acknowledge the 59 Cadillac is the holy grail. Whether it was made by Superior, Miller, Meteor, doesn't matter about the manufacturer. It's the big fins and the big grille. That's the most popular out of all of them.
How about in terms of a fire engine? If you could have any fire engine in the world, what would you want?
The one I have. 1967 Crown Fire Coach. Probably the most famous fire truck ever on the West Coast. All the fire departments used them. Simple to operate, sounds great, looks great. And I already own that, so half my dreams are already there. The other half, we'll see.
So, not to embarrass you, but you're kind of a hero. How many people's lives do you think you've saved over? How many years you've been doing this, and how many people do you think you saved their lives? That's not.
Well, I've been doing it 45 years. A lot of people that I've saved, but I think the importance of being a paramedic is not those that you save, because everybody looks at cardiac arrest, right, on TV, and get the heart going again, and all that stuff. I think it's the people that we prevent from going into cardiac arrest that we really save. They never get to that critical point, because if you're a cardiac arrest, you're dead. And now people expect us to raise the dead. And a lot of times we do.
Cardiac arrest, you're dead?
You're dead. Your heart is stopped. You stop
for that
breathing.
moment.
Yeah, you're dead unless we get you started again. But the reason they brought us into the realm in 1969 to begin with was to prevent people from going to cardiac arrest, whether it was trauma, heart attack, stroke, allergic reaction, seizures, whatever. The goal is to save you before you get to that point. Because once you get to that point, it's kind of hard to bring you back.
Being that you are in the public, you're taking airplanes and traveling, and do you ever have an emergency where they say, is there a doctor in the house? Have you ever saved someone?
All the time.
Tell us about what's happened.
I've been on a plane where I've had somebody whose blood sugar has gone down to the point that it's critical. I was once on a flight with my two kids. One's a fire captain and the other is a doctor. We were coming back from New Orleans. We had 5 emergencies on the plane at one time.
Why?
So people just... One time, the waitress had a back spasm and couldn't move. She was laying on the floor.
I think they call those stewardesses. Am
I dating myself? Flight attendant. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was back in the TWA.
That was it. That was back.
Flight waitress.
TWA, the only way to fly. Western Airlines,
Yeah.
But a lot of stuff happens, and they have a fully equipped medical box and oxygen on every plane. Most of your doctors, because of liability, refuse to acknowledge they're on the plane. That's kind of the difference between us and them. Somebody's having a problem on the plane. Number 2, if you volunteer that if something happens, here's my card. If they have an empty spot in business class, they'll usually give it to you. So there's an alternative mode. Every time I assisted somebody on a plane, I get all the little bottles of scotch and the free meals, and an aisle seat or business class.
So someone could actually trigger some of this in people to get some freebies. In other words,
absolutely. I could have a family member on the plane, feign an illness, and then I would just have my wife bring her up here. I got to watch her
do that.
in case this lady gets sick again, so we both need to be in business class. So.
Have you ever been in the restaurant and had to Heimlich someone?
Not in a restaurant, but I've been in situations, picnics and stuff like that where it's actually happened. The universal sign is, and you ask, are you joking?
And you said, no, I said, are you joking?
Right.
And then, what else, why do you like these events? What is exciting about this to you, besides talking to me and my 59?
Which is incredible. That's really the only reason why I come out is you. But there's secondary reasons.
But now I have another vehicle.
You have the police car now, which is incredible.
Yeah, which...
Nobody's got that. You have a one-of-a-kind car.
Yeah, and this is the first event I've gone to.
And you were right in the front of the parade.
Because you're a legend.
You kind of bought yourself into the front of the line. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Even I can't do that, though.
So what's the point for people that don't know? What's a convoy and why do we do this?
Well, I'll tell you what happens. When you look at this stuff, you're looking at history. It's not modern ambulances, modern police cars. This is going back when you and I were kids, the 57. Prime example, that was the LAFD or LAPD back in 1957.
Right.
The ambulance, LAFD, 1957. All the cars you see here from the Buicks and the Cadillacs, these are all from an era gone by. It's like people that like collecting 55 T-Birds, 57 Chevys, the nostalgia of an old classic car. Well, most of us are from the field of EMS or the fire department or the police department, and a lot of us drove this stuff when we first started our career. So it's neat to own this stuff. We have a gentleman here today who used to drive the Brown Bomber, the Dodge ambulance. He started with the Los Angeles City Fire Department in 1957 and drove that very ambulance. He's 86 years old. He flew down from Washington just to be here today and ride in that ambulance in the parade. So it doesn't matter whether you're 55 or 85.
Now, if we went to bodily fluids just for a moment.
Correct.
What would be the top? Would it be being vomited on, pissed on, or shit on? What's number 1, 2, and 3?
I think they all kind of come in equally, but the vomiting thing is when you because what happens if somebody's vomiting, sometimes you'll vomit. If somebody poops their pants, you're not going to poop your pants.
Have you vomited after someone vomited?
No.
Have you ever had your mouth open when someone vomited?
No, but I've been sprayed with vomit on my clothes. I think I'm immune to it now. It's just like, I got to change the clothes. We have Ozium in the back of the ambulance to turn on the exhaust fans.
And how about blood? I mean, blood is very dangerous to get on you. And
Well, you
do
know,
wear
back in the old days,
goggles
until
and-
1985, we never wore gloves.
Wow.
We just, no, before the AIDS epidemic, we never wore gloves, but we glove up and we wear protective clothing if we know we're in a situation like that. People are bleeding or whatever. I'm the oldest continual paramedic in Los Angeles and Ventura counties right now. So the little men below me, they're the ones that have to do that. I see somebody vomiting, I'll drive, get back there. Off I go.
You know, I know from police when they have rookies, there's all sorts of stories. And one is when someone's died in a vehicle and they've been in there for like a week.
Right.
They always get the rookie to open the door because the body will expand and often blow.
As soon as there's a change in pressure, it will.
The body will blow.
Because
So-
the skin becomes to that point that it's almost like a very thin membrane. Even if you touch it, it'll pop.
Yeah, so get the rookie. Yeah, can you go deal with this?
One thing I learned very early in my career when you're approaching a car like that, we carry in the ambulance a little jar of Vicks Vapor Rub.
Yeah, I do.
So you line the inside of a mask and put it over your face. Or we used to light cigars. We can't smoke anymore.
But that smell with cigars, I would throw up.
Well, you don't smell it with the cigars.
I just would throw up from the cigars.
It's like being in the bathroom and passing gas. If you light a match, you don't smell it unless the room blows. Then you've
That's
got
not good.
third-degree burns. So yeah, maybe I should have suggested.
How many babies do you think you've delivered?
8
Delivered 8 babies.
in my career. One time twins back around 1978.
Wow.
Passing in.
That's
Lady
awesome.
didn't know she was carrying twins. So we delivered the baby in an upstairs apartment. Got in the back of the ambulance. She said, I feel like I gotta push, I gotta feel like, and I didn't tell my partner because he was very easily excitable. I delivered the second baby in the back out of that fall. And we get to the hospital, we open the door, and I'm holding 2 babies. Where did that come from? Where do you think it came from? I didn't have it. She had it. What's wrong with you? You know.
And your son is a fireman.
Correct.
Does that make you proud, or you
Yeah,
wish
he
he was a
followed in my
doctor?
footsteps.
Yeah.
He did the same steps that I did. Got on the department. My daughter became an emergency room physician. She followed in my footsteps, loved emergency medicine. So yeah, it says a lot when your kids kind of follow you in whatever you do.
Where can people go online to look up your organization and these events? How do they reach you?
Well, you can go on, you can Google it, Professional Cars International. You can Google Lou Farah. You can go on Facebook and on Facebook put in the entry spot, the search engine, Professional Cars International. We're a national club with just over 1,000 people. I think we have about 1,300 or 1,400 on the Facebook page. But yeah, you can get to learn about the cars. A lot of people learn about it, end up buying a vintage ambulance or police car or fire truck and restoring it, join the club and doing what we do with the parades. I mean, you got out of the hearse and got a police car to be in the parade.
Yep.
You were leading the parade.
I know.
I've been in this club 23 years. I've never led a parade.
Well,
I'm just
but
kind
I
of
have
curious
the
how
better
you
cars.
stepped in front of me.
I want to thank you for your service and tell everyone what a great guy this is and how he's been saving lives this long. And holy shit, I don't feel well.
You know, I'm off duty. He's not going to make it.
Well, okay, so I have like 5 ambulances, and I got them all from Joe Ortiz. Well, one from Lou.
Girls, stand right here. I want to get a picture of you with the old one. Allison, come on, look at
Let go 1 second. Lily, let go 1 second. Lily, let go 1 second.
Alright, Keith. I would take a picture, but I don't have my camera.
First we look for guys who look at your law, and then we'll go and those skills are perfect because we're not stuck.
Not the 6.
Sheriff, 15 cabe matizado. Oh, ¿en total? ¿Contando los botes?
It's behind, yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I got it.
Tell us about how long you've been in service and what some of these
I've been in for 40 years now. When I was a teenager, I was in the Cellular Patrol as a cadet, just like this cadet right over here. And when I graduated high school, I went away to active duty to the Army. I was a paratrooper in the 82nd Airborne Division. I was in a mechanized division after that. When I came home after my 4-year hitch, I joined the Army Reserve, did it part-time, became a senior member of the Cellular Patrol because now I was over 21, and worked my way up from second lieutenant all the way to lieutenant colonel in the CAP ranks. At the same time, being in the Army Reserve, worked my way up from corporal all the way to master sergeant. And that was 1 week in the month and 2 weeks in the summer. The CAP is weekly. It's every Monday night we have a meeting, and extracurricular things like we're doing today. Community service, search and rescue. We did a color guard today for Warner Brothers for a 5K run they had. We do a lot of different things in that cadet program. So I stayed with them my whole life, and came back to this squadron, actually just down the road here, down at Whiteman Airport, very close to where we're standing. We have a cadet squadron there, and I'm the leadership officer there. I'm in charge of the color guard and a few other things. And teach them all about customs and courtesies, honors to the colors, drill and ceremony, various things like that. So, yeah, a long time.
Great. Well, thank you for your service.
Sure, not at all.
That's right on the nose what we want.
Sure.
Journalism, right?
Yeah.
Which is another word for fucking Nazism, but
Yes.
That's a good one. You got the helicopter in the background, too. All right.
Everything, your ambulance stuff, firefighting stuff, you can
the 30. Is this the one that drops off the plane? Did it?
No, that's something else.
Well,
They have the bucket.
If you don't do it correctly, it can spin, but we won't go in here. So Arizona had it down here, and then sled, med deck, and then backboard. And this is called our ARP. It's Aerial Rescue Platform. Basically what this is, it's basically, I tell the people, it's almost like a large burrito. So in order of prime out temperature weather, some other we'll send the rescue down here. The rescue usually in the back, so a red backpack. I don't, my personal, so, but they don't get enough. Jitsi one. So you have to buy that in your truck. He's like, oh yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm almost there.
Well, I hope you all had a great time at the show today, and I want to thank Lou Farah for putting this together with the Professional Cars Club. It was a really great day. This is the premiere debut of my 1957 Ford LAPD Cruiser. Very excited to have it out here. Hope you all enjoy this video and share it with your friends. See you at the next one.
Come on, Corpsey! Damn it! If he dies, how do I get him off my gurney?